Boom, baby. We're live. Microphone was on the floor. We're still getting in the groove of it over here on the Interview with the Man show. Welcome to Interview with the Man, episode 638. We're talking about the beta male breakdown. This is going to be interesting because you're going to see just the overall snakiness, deception, and lack of integrity most slimy beta males enact in their day-to-day behavior. So that being said, okay, sit tight and don't forget May 8th, we're going pretty hard. We got something big coming, and that is the Masculine Empowerment Network. Take a look right here.
I am not a man that believes in luck. I am not a man that believes in destiny. I believe in discipline. I believe in being powerful. I believe in being self-reliant. I believe in mentorship. And most importantly, I believe in me. I refuse to be a victim. And I know that every day I make a choice to be better than before, a choice to do what is right for me, a choice to not live as a slave to my emotions. And all of these choices will lead me to the burden that is heavy, and that burden is greatness. We live in the most prosperous times in human history. There is no excuse that outweighs the greatness that is in you that can get you the life that you want. Every day, we must make a choice to improve our lives or to be victims of inaction. The price of greatness is one we must pay every day, and it is a choice that I always make. Although the path we walk can be lonely, it is the most important thing we must do. Sometimes when you choose the life of greatness, you need a little help. The best part of my journey is that I'm not alone, and neither are you.
That's right. Sit tight. Get ready to rock and roll, baby, because on May 8th, we're going live with Masculine Empowerment Network. If you're not on the waiting list, I implore you, go right now. Get on the waiting list. Go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com, scroll down, put your best email address right here, and click here to save your spot. You'll be locked and loaded. It's free to get in here and save your spot. It's completely for free. So you may be thinking to yourself, what do I get? What's the benefits? What is all of this? What's all of this then? Right? You get a lot. You get a lot and so much more. Let me just show you right here. You get all this. So when you sign up, you get my course, Body Language Mastery. It's my premier course, really, $1 million selling course, really, on how to read a body language of a woman. This is going to let you understand if a woman is into you or not, right? She's going to give you all the indicators of if she's turned on, if she's feeling attraction along those lines. That way, you could spend time on women who are worth your time, and the women who are just, nuts playing games or showing early signs of mental disease, you can get away from them because those women are everywhere and they look normal. This is going to teach you to see the actual code in the matrix and know the truth. Can be a little dark though, because you can't go back from that. You cannot go back from that. Once you're in, you're in. There's no unseeing. Once you learn body language, you are locked and loaded. Okay. Number 2, 60 webinars with experts in money, muscles, game, and frame. What's a webinar? Webinar is when we go live at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time twice a day. Okay. And we have experts who are going to help you get more money, going to help you get more muscles, more game, and more frame. They're going to give a presentation, and at the end of the presentation, we're going to do a question and answer section. The question and answer section is recorded, unlike inner game healing, because inner game healing is just too deep, too private. If you can't attend those are all recorded and stored at a database for you to watch later at your convenience. And then you get a secured Telegram chat with us and all the members of the Masculine Empowerment Network, where we'll all be meeting up and having a good time. And then direct access to me, MLD. And then number 6, this is something interesting and new we have out. It's going to be called the Open Course Access Sale. And this is going to allow you to have access to all my courses instead of having to wait, because my courses are like gold. You get all that and more, but you got to go to the masculineempowermentnetwork.com and get on the waiting list right now, because May 8th, we are rocking and we are rolling. Shout out to everybody here today. Shout out to the boys on Rumble, okay? And Agent 187 is on Rumble. We got a good amount of people over there. Shout out to everybody watching me right now here on my stream. Today we're going to talk about this beta male breakdowns thing we got here. Right here, cold intro. Juan Gonzalez, $10 super chat. Thank you very much, brother. He says, cold intro. Let's go, everyone. I signed up for the first quarter and have gotten amazing benefits so far. I think you're talking about inner game healing. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Shout out to the Masculine Empowerment Network alumni. What up, what up, what up, what up? This is separate from inner game healing. Correct. This is separate from inner game healing. There's an annual membership. If you're locked in right now, you're good for the rest of the year. Okay. You're literally set like to bed, baby. You're good to go. The Masculine Empowerment Network also, like I said, the schedule is starting to fill out here. And I'll show you guys what the schedule is looking like so far. The inner game team is back. Paul will be back. Justin and Mark will be back. Obviously, I will be back. And we're bringing in some new people as well. It's going to be really good stuff here. And we're going to help you guys get jobs. We're going to help you fix your credit. We're going to help you do all the things you need to do. And so much more. Let me show you what we have right here. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Let me share the screen. There we go. Okay. Here we are. All right. So schedule's starting to get filled out here. I'm hunting people down. I got to chase people down to get them to get their commitments on this calendar. Here it is. So let me show you what we got so far. Leading strong with the inner game stuff. We have inner masculine. It's Ryan Fowler. Let's talk about programming your mind for abundance and introduction to self-hypnosis, right? And then later that week, we have Wraith. We talk about setting healthy boundaries as a man, because a lot of you guys don't know how to set healthy boundaries with women, with your mom, with your dad, with your job, with your family. Teach you how to have healthy boundaries. You have a family that's leeching off of you and all that stuff. This is stuff that's for you. If you feel like everybody around you is holding you down and keeping you down, this is for you, okay? Again, Inner Masculine is back the next week. It says prove your value to yourself and self-hypnosis troubleshooting. And then Wraith is back with a frame Q&A where we're going to be talking about frame statements, and so much more. So it's color coordinated: money, muscles, game, and frame. Okay, these are frame related webinars, and we're going to have a lot more coming through here. So keep that in mind when it comes down to what we got happening here at the Masculine Empowerment Network. Like I said, I am not going anywhere. I am just going to be doing the Masculine Empowerment Network for the rest of my life. I don't care how uncool, unsexy, or whatever the case may be for the average person, because quite frankly, I really don't care about the average people. I care about the guys who want to be above average. All right. So go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com. The link is in the description box. The link is in the chat when one of the moderators puts there. And yeah, I'll even put the banner on here, right here. Boom. Sign up for the Masculine Empowerment Network. Get on the waiting list right now. Get on the waiting list right now. All right. So how's everybody doing? We got a good one today. Actually, I have to edit this. Let me see. Get on the waiting list for this. We're going to talk about something I've been looking at for a while now. Let me just tell you guys something. Okay. You guys know what I do every single day. Every single day I tell you guys, I wake up and I get to work on helping as many men as possible, right? Bruh. Let me just tell you that, okay, it is there's a real sinister thing happening right now in the world. Okay. And the thing here is that you know, we have a real problem with weak men in the West right now. And the weak men are their liability. And you don't want a liability in your life at all. Okay. This is including friends, families, women who you're dating. Okay. You don't want any of that shit in your life. And it seems to be a growing phenomenon. I told you guys, you know what the real epidemic is, the real pandemic is? Is that there are a bunch of guys pretending to look like a strong man, and actually in their heart of hearts they're weak men. This is rampant. Let me tell you something. This is absolutely rampant. And then what you're also going to notice is that there's more and more snakes every fucking day. These weasels, okay, these lying weasels are people that are just trying to pretend that they're decent individuals, and the reality is they're not. And you have this everywhere, okay? Yeah, exactly. Mac and Cheese, the day gamer. Mac, the day drinker, right? Matt, the lame gamer, right? He's a perfect example, right? He's a perfect example of how just trying to look cool, trying to look like a strong man, but the reality is he's just a weakling, right? You know. So Robert has a question. Says, so MLD, is this launch different from Inner Game Healing Summit? Yes, this is a lot different. This is so Inner Game Healing Summit is directly talking about getting your inner game sorted out. The Masculine Empowerment Network is going to help you with the core four behind me: money, muscles, game, and frame. That's what we're going to be doing, right? And so we have a gigantic amount of credibility with our community. If you go to my Instagram, see, when I went on my USA tour, I built the USA tour around the fact that I was going to meet up with all the guys from the Masculine Empowerment Network. This is guys who are part of the Masculine Empowerment Network. This is my Instagram Hot Dude Life. So if you just go here, right, you go and then you click on this photo right here. Okay. And then Masculine Empowerment Network, Masculine Empowerment Network, Masculine Empowerment Network, Masculine Empowerment Network, and Masculine Empowerment Network. Okay, we went on the gigantic trip with all of us. It was a damn good time. This is us in Toronto. That was me on Valuetainment Money. But yeah, it's like a real community of people. When we get together, we do meetups, we have a good time. And yeah, it's fantastic. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. I truly love it. And I'm so happy to be part of this. And we're just going to keep growing it slowly but surely. But yeah, there's real plague going around, like these dudes with no honor, no dignity, and they're trying to act like they are tough. They're trying to act like they have money. They're trying to act like they're smart. But that's what it is. They're trying and they're acting. That's what they're doing. They're trying and they're acting. Okay. So in today's modern time, you have to understand that if you're a weak man, all right, if you outsource anything to anyone else, it's not in your benefit. Okay. A lot of people were out there outsourcing their health to government officials in the year 2021, 2020, right? We all know how that happened. I kind of want to lead with that first. So I don't know if you guys seen this recently, but we have a couple examples of weak beta males. And our first one is probably like one of my favorite beta males out there. That is Justin Trudeau. Take a look at what Justin Trudeau is doing here as he tries to rewrite history for Canada and Canadians.
Misinformation and
oops. Here we go.
Misinformation and disinformation is carrying people to believe things that are untrue. And vaccinations is a perfect example of it. Like any modern bit of medical advancements, there are potential side effects in vaccinations. And there are people who've probably gotten very sick from vaccinations, on the billions of people who've been vaccinated against COVID over the past few years. But there are far more people who obviously have died due to COVID, died from not getting vaccinated. And the idea that people can fly in the face of science, well, individuals are allowed to make their own choices. There may be all sorts of different reasons why someone is hesitant to get vaccinated. But I make a distinction, and I have always have, between someone choosing for personal reasons to choose not to get vaccinated and someone deliberately using misinformation to mislead and scare other people with so-called facts that aren't facts at all, that lead them to make a choice that endangers their lives and the lives of other citizens. So as Prime Minister, through the greatest public health crisis that we've faced in 100 years in this country, since the Spanish flu, my responsibility was to keep as many Canadians alive as possible. And all of the scientists and the medical experts and the researchers, not just in Canada, but around the world, understood that vaccination was going to be the way through this. And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated,
Not forcing anyone to get vaccinated.
I chose to make sure that all the vaccination was going to be the way through this. And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated, I chose to make sure that all the incentives and all the protections were there to encourage Canadians to get vaccinated. And that's exactly what they did. We got vaccinated to a higher level than just about any other of our peer countries. And that's why we had a less deadly pandemic than most other countries.
Yeah. Also, your population is not as large as the other countries. Okay, but we do not force people to get vaccinated. We do not force people to get vaccinated. I see. Well, February 2022. Let's see what he had to say then.
This government has been focused every step of the way on following the best science, following the best public health advice to keep as many people safe as possible. And quite frankly, it's worked. We've seen the curves lower in Canada than elsewhere. We've seen lower death rates. We've seen quicker economic recovery because Canadians stepped up, because Canadians got vaccinated. And I can understand frustrations with mandates, but mandates are the way to avoid further restrictions or having to be restricted. As people get vaccinated, as Canadians have gotten vaccinated, we've been able to get through things. And this team is going to stay focused on doing exactly that.
So clearly in support of the mandates. And what a mandate is saying is you have to get vaccinated or you're going to lose your job. Remember the truckers protest when the truckers in Canada were protesting? That's because they didn't want to get vaccinated. And what happened? Okay. What happened was right here. Literally froze people's bank accounts if they didn't comply with the stabby stab. Okay. So you have to understand this, right? That when it comes to these people, these beta males, okay, you have to understand they're slimy, they are liars, and they will not change. Okay, you have to really understand they're manipulative, they're liars, and they're not good people. Okay. I'll tell you another example, right? For example, obviously, we know what the thing happened with me and this guy, Mac the Day Gamer, here locally in Tokyo. After the whole interaction happened and he got completely punked out by me, he then went to Instagram and he took a screenshot of one section of a 24-minute long video saying that I was afraid of him and I was putting my mom in between us because I was afraid of Mac the Day Gamer. After I beat him down in the streets by pushing him, he immediately went to the internet, kept stalking me, and kept talking trash. And then I have a screenshot right here. Take a look. He says, he says, here's a screenshot. Okay. There's a screenshot right here. It says tough guy assaults me from behind and then hides behind his mother. This is the guy you look to for inner game. Words cannot describe how much of a weasel coward this bastard is. To say he crossed the line, a red line, is an understatement. So he's the one there trying to reframe this to make it look like I was hiding behind my mom, right? But he's the one who went and tattletale to the police. He's the one who started the whole interaction, right? The rumors that have been getting back to me too. Obviously, you guys know I used to work with Charlie from Cultivate Crypto, and he even told somebody in my community he broke it off with me because of that I wasn't included on some business deal or something like that. And the real reason I broke it off is because behind the scenes, he's a raging, drunken, drug-using alcoholic. That's the real truth. But he can't get a hold of his personal life. He can't get a hold of anything. He's losing people's money left and right. People are flying out to Las Vegas to to physically confront him and literally force him to hand over money. But he's just sticking to his narrative. And like I said, it's all good. You guys will see that whole house of cards are going to come tumbling right down. But when you're a liar, when you're a snake, when you're beta male, that's what you know. All you know is lies. All you know is deception. And all the people that are rallying around him, they're not really rallying around them. They're rallying around the idea that this guy can lead them to the promised land of profits. That's true. That's the reality. Okay. So these beta male snakes, can't trust them. It's only a matter of time before they stab you in the back. And this is who they are. This is who they are for life. Okay. This really, 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 really is the reality of life. Okay. And so I'll show you another example here. And this is the big ones right here. Okay. Elon Musk did an interview with a slimy beta male named James Clayton from the BBC. And what you're going to see right now is a live confrontation, okay, of one guy lying and manipulating and Elon Musk holding him accountable. And then you could see how he tries to, worm his way out of these things. So I'll show you this right now. This is the interview right here. So this is Elon Musk on the left-hand side, my favorite African-American. And on the right-hand side, you have James Clayton, and he is the liar from the BBC reporter. And honestly, journalism is dead. Like now we just need to rely on citizen journalism because there's just so many fucking snakes out there. And just take a look at this. It's really crazy. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Which is meaningless unless you allow people you don't like to say things you don't like. Otherwise, free speech is meaningless unless you allow people you don't like to say things you don't like. Otherwise, it's irrelevant. And if at the point at which you lose free speech, it doesn't come back.
I think the issue some people have is that a lot of people were brought back. I mean, some people.
So, and then he says, and he keeps on doing this phantom citation. It's like a lot of people in general, blah, blah, blah. Because what they're doing, because the thing is this, when you're strong and confident in knowing what you know as the truth, you don't need a million people backing you up. The truth is backing you up. That's all you fucking need, right? And here he already leads off by saying a lot of people this, a lot of people that. He keeps on sourcing these phantom sources. Okay, let's continue here. Let's go back.
People brought back who were previously banned for spreading things like QAnon conspiracies. You have people like Andrew Tate who were brought back, who were previously.
Yeah, Andrew Tate. Of course, that's the easy, low-hanging fruit, right? This guy, slime ball, sitting here saying, Andrew Tate's terrible. Andrew Tate is a net positive for humanity, not a net negative. Okay.
Banned for things like hate speech. Do you think you prioritize freedom of vote?
And just let's keep this in mind too. Remember, hate speech was created by social media networks. Okay. And this was a California fucking initiative to basically use this statement of hate speech, say, oh, this is just going to give us a reason to ban anybody no matter what. That's what hate speech is all about. This is going to just allow us to choose something someone says, like, oh, this is hate speech, you can't be there. And like, well, okay, can you define that? What's hateful about that? Oh, well, read our community guidelines, and then you're gone. Okay. But the reality is, we are at a point now with this culture war that I believe that the progressive left is losing. They are. And the reason is because they're just getting too extreme. They can't even win the arguments now. All they're doing is censoring people. That's how desperate they're getting. because they're losing control. People are just no longer wanting to be part of this crap. People want to be free. People want to have money, and people want to do whatever they want to do. And the moment you start trying to force other people to participate in your fucking delusion, think alphabet people and all that, okay, that is just too much. Like you shouldn't be able to force someone else to conform to your reality. Okay. And that's what they're trying to do. And the more sinister side of it is all coming out. But let's continue here.
Of speech over misinformation and hate speech.
Well, you know, who's to say that something is misinformation? Who's the arbiter of that? Is it the BBC?
You're literally asking me.
Yes.
Well, no, you are the arbiter on Twitter because you own Twitter.
Yes, I'm saying who is to say that one person's misinformation is another person's information? The point at which you say that there is this is misinformation, like who is going to decide that?
You accept that misinformation can be dangerous, that it can cause real world harms, that it can potentially cause
Yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is that the BBC itself has at times published things that are false. Do you agree that that has occurred?
Okay, so let me just give you the breakdown here. So he says, do you agree that misinformation is bad? Elon says yes. Then, because he's trying to say that, okay, because misinformation is bad, then there is misinformation on Twitter, therefore you are bad. Again, this is a manipulative tactic. This is a slimy tactic. And there's no integrity, there's no honor in this communication. This is literally a smear campaign and attack on Elon Musk. Okay, so Elon rebuttals him and he says, right, but the BBC has posted stuff that is misinformation before, right? And you are working for the BBC, right? But look how he weasels his way out. Let's pull this back a bit.
Potentially cause
Yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is that the BBC itself has at times published things that are false. Do you agree that that has occurred?
I'm quite sure the BBC have said things before that turn out to not be true.
Correct.
In its whatever it is 100-year history, I'm quite sure.
Yes. Even if you aspire to be accurate, there are times when you will not be.
We've spoken to people very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around hate speech in the company. Is that
what hate speech are you
address?
talking about? I mean, you use Twitter,
right?
Do you see a rise in hate speech?
I mean,
but just a personal anecdote. Like, what do you? I don't.
Personally, my for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally.
So he's saying now he's getting more hate speech when he's involved in checking out his personal Twitter. He's saying, yeah, I'm getting more hate speech.
But I'm not going to talk to the rest of for the rest of Twitter.
So you see more hate speech personally?
I would say I would see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yeah, I mean, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying.
Well, I'm just curious. I'm trying to understand what you mean by hateful content, and I'm asking for specific examples. And you just said that if something is slightly sexist, that's hateful content. Does that mean that it should be banned?
Well, you've asked me whether my feed, whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
That's why I'm asking for examples. Can you name one example?
I honestly don't need. Honestly, I
you
don't.
Can't name a single example.
I'll tell you why. Because I don't actually use that for you feed anymore because I just don't particularly like it.
But you said
a lot of people are quite similar. I only look at
hang on a second.
My
you said you've seen more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And
then how did you see the hateful content?
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying
I say, sir, that you don't know.
See, and now, so he's like, All right, so you're saying you say hate speech. Give me an example. I don't know. The real red pill that you guys need to take in life is you have to understand that 50% of people on this planet are 100 IQ or less. 50%. Okay. And I am willing to bet that more than 50% on this planet have some sort of fucking trauma or psychological problem that is making them a net negative contributor to society over a net positive. This lying slime ball is an example, okay, right now that he's just lying to get his way. See, what you're having here really is a battle of frames, okay? And on the left-hand side, you have Elon Musk, who has rock solid frame, founded in truth. And the right side, you have this guy, James Clayton, and his frame is not his frame. It was given to him. He's a fucking little, and this is what beta males do. They're servants to guys who are smarter than them, you know, alphas, political people who are using them as puppets. Okay, this guy's a puppet. He doesn't think for himself. Kidding me? You think this guy fucking sits around and thinks for himself? This guy is a slime ball. If you have life experience, you can tell that this guy on the right hand side is a slime ball of a man. It is a greasy shit human being. And you can tell too, he's kind of like getting off on this. The way he's smiling and laughing, and on the right hand side here, he's really getting off on this. He's getting, because this is the highlight of his life, being able to get humiliated by Elon Musk. I'm gonna rewind this a little bit so you can listen to more.
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen that for you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying
I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's a false.
No, what I claimed,
you just lied.
What? No,
he got his ass right there. He got his ass. So he caught him blatantly in a lie. Caught him blatantly in a lie. And watched him. Watch his. I'm gonna rewind it again, let it play through. But watch him try to weasel his way out.
You're talking about?
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's a false.
No, what I claimed,
you just lied.
What I claimed was there are many organizations that say that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my feed or not, I mean, right. And,
literally, and then now he says there are many organizations that say that type of content is on the rise. This is like, okay, so who are these organizations? How are they collecting this data? Oh, NPR is blah, blah, blah. Okay, how are they sourcing this data? Seriously. It's not. It's just a narrative. Ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, Twitter has been fucking awesome. I used to fucking hate Twitter. Twitter was a cesspool of garbage. Excuse me. Cesspool of garbage for just a bunch of bottom-dwelling people in society. And it was just a nasty rut of a shithole to be in. It's become far better now. Far, 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 far better. Way far better. And this guy right here is just, now this is what these slimy beta males do. Now they'll just say like, you know, oh, everyone said this, or these organizations say this. He tries to create this phantom support group behind him, but it's not there. It doesn't exist. If again, you know, when you have rock solid frame, guys, okay, and you are confident in who you are, and you're confident in what you do, and you you're confident in what you believe, okay, the reality is very, very simple and clear, okay? And this is the real epitome of being a real man, okay? You, if you have rock solid frame, this is you right here, okay? Yes, you are all wrong. Okay, that was me at the beginning of the scandemic. That was me with all this other garbage out there. The propaganda, you know, the militant people, the letter people, all this shit. Okay, the forcing of this on people. You know, the election, whatever you want to say. You can all suck my fucking dick. I'm not backing down. I know what's going on. I know exactly what's happening. Okay. That's rock solid frame. You don't need the world behind you because the truth is your ally and a powerful ally it is. Okay. So now he's got caught in a blatant lie. He's going to weasel his way out and try to source these phantom sources.
A single example of hateful content, not even one tweet, and yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's false.
No, what I claimed,
you just lied.
What I claimed was there are many organizations that say that that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my feed or not, I mean, right, and
literally
you can look at something
one.
Like the Strategic Dialogue Institute in the UK. They will say that. So
look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a single example, and you can't name one.
Right, and as I've already said, I don't use that feed. But
then how would you know that?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know this hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on.
So he's trying to, now he's saying, you know, let's move on. Let's move on. I'm clearly caught in my lie. I'm clearly caught in my manipulation. Let's move on. And look, guys, I'm telling you, the thing is this too. The great thing about the internet is it has been the exposer of truth. Okay. And the last thing that people are able to use to stop the truth is censorship. That's the last thing. But the thing is this, right? So now everybody knows that censorship is a problem. So the first step of being aware of a problem, right? That's the first step. Once you're aware of a problem, the next step becomes the solutions construction, right? And this censorship stuff is not going to work. It is not going to fucking work. There are too many smart individual people out there. There's too much free access to technology. The only way to really stop people is by censoring them and killing them, okay? AKA the Hillary Clinton model, right? And that's what we have gotten to. But now everybody even knows. Like, the thing is, once you're out there and you know the truth and people are aware of it, like everybody knows, like Hillary Clinton killed all those people. The Clinton Foundation killed all those people. They know that. That's common knowledge, right? Everybody knows that now, since Elon Musk took over Twitter and he debuted and he says, whoa, like everybody's been getting shadow banned. Like they've been shadow banning conservatives. They've been boosting all these liberals. They were shadow banning politicians. They were lowering down the reach of politicians. To think that these social media companies operate in good faith is fucking foolish. Okay? Foolish. A bunch of fools doing this. Okay? Yeah, Wendy, Jesus is back in the house. She says, let's move on. I'm busted. Exactly. Caught his ass red-handed. Masculine mindset says no accountability. That's right. That's my boy Vinny. And then Yeah, exactly. Seth Rich died for Trump's 2016 win. Exactly. His name was Seth Rich. Shout out to Seth Rich, right? Robert says, I was raised that if I lie to my mentor or men that I was raised and have respect for, I would have been checked real quick, depending on the offense, would have gotten slapped for being a bitch. Just saying, yeah. That's another thing. A lot of guys need to be slapped in the face these days. Like, I can tell you, I didn't, and we're gonna go right back to this clip. But I tell you what, this whole situation of me confronting that guy in Tokyo who was talking shit and posting my photos online and saying he's gonna beat me up. After confronting this guy, I'm pushing him to the floor and humiliating him, taking his manhood. That the only way he can get his manhood back is by coming back to me and settle this in a good old-fashioned fisticuffs fight. I got his manhood. For the rest of his life, he's going to know MLD got the best of me, right? And what that made me realize is because all this shit he was talking for months and months and months, and that's all these people do, these beta males, these weak men, they talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. What I've realized is that's all they can do. Because if you're about it, you're going to be about it. If you can walk, you're not going to talk. There's doers. There's talkers in this life, and that's it. And these weak beta males, this like I said, that situation really opened my eyes to a lot of these guys. That's why, like, when people talk shit to me online now, I'm like, oh, I know exactly kind of the fucking bitch ass you are. It's the dudes that don't talk. Okay. It's the dudes that don't talk. Those are the dudes you got to worry about. Yeah, Morgan Jones says most aren't ever confronted face to face. No, they never do. They never do. But I tell you what, you keep running your mouth about me. Like I said, if I run into that Sidney Raghunath guy, that MGTOW dictionary, I got his fucking address too. I can run up on him in New York. I mean, the way New York's going right now, shit. They wouldn't miss him. Be careful if you're out there running your mouth, boys. I'm telling you, some people don't fucking play. Some people do not fucking play. Okay? They do not play. So if you're going to be out here talking shit, just better be able to back it up. And that's the thing. We have this whole culture of people just talking shit, hiding on the internet. But it's starting to catch up with them. Starting to catch up. Yeah, the way New York's going, you won't have to, right? It's hilarious. Yeah, he says they let you off with a pat in the back in NYC. It's a 2-hour drive for me to Sydney's house. Holler at me, Mike. Send me a DM. Yeah, exactly. Morgan Jones says it perfectly. He says keyboard warriors, bro. It's so true. So true. Look at this. Look at this smart man here. Broke from smokes to like cut. G. Thanks so much. Let's continue on. Let's move on. I'm gonna break down this guy's Twitter, show you the anatomy of a scumbag too.
That feed, but
then how would you know that?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally
like
and yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's a false.
No, what I claimed,
you just lied.
What I claimed was there are many organizations that say that that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my feed or not. I mean, right, and
literally
if you look at something like the Strategic Dialogue Institute in the UK, they will say that. So
look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a single example, and you can't name one.
Right, and as I've already said, I don't use that feed. But
then how would you know that?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know this hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time. COVID misinformation. You changed the COVID misinformation.
Has BBC changed its COVID misinformation?
The BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
I'm literally asking.
Got his ass again. Look at that again. Watch this. You can see because when you debate these people, you know, this is an example of why when you fucking debate these people, you have to have rock solid frame. Like, for example, when I was debating Bangs, you know, I might pull it up. We'll see. I'm thinking about when I was debating Bangs on the whatever podcast, right? So with her, she fucking was sitting there running her mouth, blah blah blah, using all these like manipulative buzzwords. You're sitting here talking a panel of young girls, and that's just okay, not the way you're talking young girls. No, you dumb fucking cunt. Shut your fucking mouth because you are a young girl. I'm a 37-year-old man who's lived life, who's made millions of dollars, who's traveled the fucking world. I'm smarter than you. I'm wiser than you. I'm better than you in literally every way. So you're qualified to do two things. Shut the fuck up and listen. Those are your qualifies. Those are your qualifications. Step one. What's my qualification? Shut the fuck up. Got it. What's the next thing I'm qualified to do? Listen. Okay, cool.
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more.
So now he says he goes hate speech, and he's like, okay, this is not getting away. He clearly loses that round, and then watch what he does again.
Hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know there's hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time.
Wow.
COVID misinformation. You changed the COVID misinformation.
Has
rules.
BBC changed its COVID misinformation?
The BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
Because again, let me break it down for you guys. What's happening? Okay. So what this is an interview. Okay, but the reality is it's a smear job. That's exactly what this is. I feel like my chair is too low. Hold on. There we go. Got that Herman Miller. If you don't know, you don't know. It's okay. One day, maybe you can get a Herman Miller chair. I got the desk. Desk a little just there. Got the motorized desk. Right here, living large, baby. So what's happening right now? This is structured as an interview, right? But the reality is this is an attempt at a hit piece. So the first thing this slime ball James Clayton tried to do was to smear Elon Musk and saying, oh, hate speech is on the rise. Hate speech is on the rise, you know? And, you know, there is no indicator of any, like, hate speech on the rise from that this man can source. Then he's like, oh, well, you know, I'm fucking out here witnessing a gigantic amount of hate speech, right? And he's like, okay, give me one example. Oh, nothing. Okay. So he loses that one. Got to move on. Step number 2 here. Now you have him switching again to smear Elon, saying, oh, well, you know what? Twitter, there's a lot of COVID misinformation on Twitter. First of all, Elon was in control of COVID he was not in control of Twitter during COVID. Fucking Jack and his team of Indians were. And then secondly, he's trying to just again put finger blame on Elon. And Elon's like, no, wait a minute. You work for the BBC, and what about their misinformation? Watch him squirm here.
BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
I'm literally asking you about, you changed the labels, the COVID misinformation labels. There used to be a policy, and then it then disappeared. Why do that?
Well, COVID is no longer an issue. Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccinations, and not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview about the BBC.
Oh, you thought it wasn't?
I see now why you've done Twitter Spaces. I am not a representative of the BBC's editorial policy. I want to make that clear. Let's talk about something else. You want to talk about the BBC? All right, let's talk about something else.
You weren't expecting that.
So he caught him, he destroyed him, he shut him down, and the guy's credibility is further in the shithole, right? And here's an example. Okay, and this is what I'm talking about. So this is like the phantom sourcing of citations, like experts say, and this is that. Okay, I'm going to show you a clip here from 2007 from none other than our awesome late great Patrice O'Neal. Take a look here. This is Patrice O'Neal versus some bitch on a free speech debate here on Fox News. I'm just going to show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Next up on the chopping block, XM satellite radio DJs Opie and Anthony. They're under fire now for airing joking comments about raping Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. Will they be the next to go? Is radio cleaning house?
This is the beginning of cancel culture, and we're seeing the tail end of it now. I mean, you just grow the fuck up. If you don't like something, turn it off and walk away. Don't try to lead some kind of movement based upon your fragile feelings and loserdom.
House after the Imus debacle. With me now, New City President Sonia Osorio. She took part in a recent protest calling for radio stations to stop supporting negative language in music and talk radio, and also our favorite stand-up comic, Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Patrice, are O&A next?
I hope not. I wish JB and Elvis didn't lose their job or Imus. It's funny. This is the thing. I don't know her, but I'm assuming that she has nothing to do with funny. So I'm gonna speak as the expert on funny. Funny people should just be left to trying to be funny.
What if they're not funny?
Then you made a mistake. But how many times has how many unfunny rape jokes lead to rape? Like,
No, I don't know how many jokes about rape there are.
there's a lot. But your world is not funny. Your world is next on the big story. My world is people trying to be funny.
Well, I mean, you think it's okay to try to make jokes about rape?
I'm diabetic. I make fun of that. I'm a victim. I might lose a toe. But I'm trying to make fun of. I'm trying to make fun of anything I think I can make fun of.
Sonia?
You know, what's happening now is the marketplace
Okay.
is deciding what's appropriate or what's not appropriate. I think the nation is just tired. There's a new mood in the nation.
What nation?
The nation, you know what? We're tired of things that
Is
are
this
just
the nation that's
hurtful,
paper and you?
hurtful
I'm not the nation. I'm just speaking for me and funny. You're speaking for the nation, or you're speaking for?
Yeah, you know why? Because I remember 6 years ago doing something against Anthony Opie because they were just so outrageous, and their violent images that they put out to women was just uncalled for. And now I think people.
You think they were trying to be funny?
I think now people in
Do
this
you
country
think they were trying to be
are
funny?
tired. You know what? I don't care if they're trying to be funny.
That's what I'm saying.
tell you
Why are
something,
you in that business?
I've been to your show once, and it wasn't very funny being a woman.
It was
in your
hilarious.
Show, when you talked about.
That's why she doesn't like me. I was in the paper with her, and the joke is hilarious. It's called The Angry Pirate. And the lady who wrote it in her outrage didn't even know what it meant. And anybody who read it laughed because they know what funny. You're not living in the context of funny. You're living in the context of fire.
Have every right to be as funny as they want. They can go out and try to be as funny as they want, make as much money being as funny as they want. This is what's happening. There is a change in this country. People are realizing they have an opportunity to speak out, and advertisers are listening. Radio stations are listening.
You're not talking to who I talk to.
And you're not going to get paid as much money anymore.
Sonia and Patrice,
That's
look at this.
So again, you hear her rambling on, there is a change needed in this country, and people are wanting a change, and we're wanting a movement. No, this is what happens when you put a lot of women in control and a lot of women in charge. Women live in fear. Women live in offense. Women do not live in freedom. Okay. If you look at what's happening, what's been voted into legislation and all the shit that's been happening in the world, it's because these women are just constantly afraid. Bro, this happens in relationships. This happens in work. This happens all the fucking time, okay? If there's like okay, this is what women do at workplaces too, okay? and this is kind of connected to what I'm going to talk about next, because these beta males, they mimic female behavior. Okay. So what happens is these chicks, first of all, when a woman joins a job, she doesn't look at it like, I need to push this organization forward. I need to do great things. No, she looks at it like, okay, this is like my life force. And so they start to make it like a community. They try to make it like a work community, right? Because they don't have fucking families anymore. So they can't make a family at home. So they take this like nesting nature to work, and this becomes their family. And everybody else in America is so broken and lonely, they kind of go along with it because nobody has a backbone to tell this bitch to shut the fuck up and get back to work. We got to work for this organization that was probably most likely started by men who are sitting around fucking working, not talking about what are you guys bringing to the potluck Friday? Are you guys dressing up? Are you guys wearing high heels to show like men are shit and women are the top best things fucking ever? Are you doing that? Okay. So you have this fucking bitch sourcing all these phantom organizations. The nation is tired. Yeah, you know what? The nation is tired of you fucking dumb bitches. That's the real truth right now. Men are sick and tired of this shit. We tolerated it for the longest time because dudes probably getting pussy and like, whatever, you know, my bitch is just fucking running her mouth about some dumb shit, right? But now she's like, the nation is tired. Nobody likes censorship. Nobody likes being fucking banned. Nobody likes it. If you don't like it, then fuck off. Fuck off elsewhere. Go and watch something else. You don't like my shit? Go fuck off. Go watch something else, motherfucker.
Shut up and take my
Go
money.
watch some fucking transgender content. It's all over YouTube. Trust me. We've shown it before. Okay? So, shout out to JJ donating the 99 cents 2 times. Thank you so much. Clearly the value of my stream is known today. But this lady is sourcing these things, okay? And let's just, if you do a little bit of a deep dive on this fucking dumb bitch, right? She is now she's now here on LinkedIn. Here she is. So this is her LinkedIn, Sonia Osorio, right? And president at National Organization for Women New York. Red flag after red flag after red flag. Okay. So she's been doing this shit. You know, she's been there, the executive director, National Organization. This was actually in 2007 when that interview was. Okay. Business journalist. Okay. Journalism was her. Went to University of South Florida. You know what that means? She fucked a black dude. All my black dudes know USF is all fucking black dudes in Tampa. That's why she jumped on that panel to be with Patrice. And then, yeah, you know, she's out here, you know, Sonia is an executive manager and communications government relations strategist who's transformed a women's rights organization and knows how to make the case to raise capital, expand the visibility, and hire the right people to create a winning team. She's immersed in politics, red flag, public policy, red flag, and has successfully driven bills through the New York legislature. A former business journalist and a public affairs director, she is recognized as an effective spokeswoman with experience and track record to produce high-impacting messaging, branding, and earned media to drive growth and reputation. But I need to see numbers, bitch. What are you fucking putting together? Okay. It's just comedy. It is truly fucking comedy. Hilarious. Okay. And she's just commenting on people's shit. Congratulations on this. Congratulations on that. Research shows that a 30 dads are eligible to take partial blah, 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 blah. Need to move the needle. Her dad's, you know. But, she, you know, her bullshit statements on her fucking, yeah, unity, all these keywords. Unity. We got to bring diversity as our strength. Let's unify by our differences. Oh, great. Yeah. That's like saying, let's add using subtraction. Let's add using subtract. Let's multiply by dividing. Fucking dumb bitch. Anyways, listen to her bullshit. Because you could hear her fucking political woke speech here back in 2007 here. Look, and the best thing about Patrice is he calls her out on it.
The nation.
What nation?
The nation. You know what? We're tired of things that
Is
are
just the nation, this
hurtful,
paper, and you?
hurtful,
I'm not the nation. I'm just speaking for me and funny. You're speaking for the nation, or you're speaking for?
Yeah, you know why? Because I remember 6 years ago doing something against Anthony Openy because they were just so outrageous, and their violent images that they put out to women was just uncalled for. And now I think people.
You think they were trying to be funny?
I think now people in
Do
this
you think
country
they were trying to be
are
funny?
tired. You know what? I don't care if they're trying to be funny.
That's what I'm
Let
saying.
me tell you
Why are
something,
you in that business?
I've been to your show once, and it wasn't very funny being a woman.
It was
in your
hilarious.
Show, when you talked about.
That's why she doesn't like me. I was in the paper with her, and the joke is hilarious. It's called The Angry Pirate. And the lady who wrote it in her outrage didn't even know what it meant. And anybody who read it laughed because they know what funny. You're not living in the context of funny. You're living in the context of fire.
Have every right to be as funny as they want.
Yeah, see, you're not living. He says it perfectly, and he was identifying cancel culture before it came out. You're not living in the context of funny. You're living in the context of fired, and that's what women do. Okay, women like it's like when they're dating, right? Women will look for a reason to disqualify a guy because you know why these women always say, "I want a guy that's 6." Okay, no, sorry. You know, here, you know why they always say, "I want a guy that's 6 foot tall, 6-pack abs, 6-figure salary." You know why they say that? That's the safest option for them. That's the safest. They're so fucking scarcity mindset. And it really, this all boils down to being broken internally, right? They're so fucking empty and broken inside. They think like, oh, I'm so scared about relationships. I'm so scared like if this is not going to work out. I'm so scared that I might lose attraction. I'm so scared that he's going to lose money. So let me just choose the best one. And that's why this is really happening. It's not because that's, I mean, sure. Do they want that? Yeah. I'm sure there's like, those are definitely attraction markers, but the base of that comes from them feeling like, oh, maybe that I couldn't get what I need from an average guy. And she's a fucking average girl. Anytime there's fear or uncertainty or doubt or anything along those lines, right? They're just like, oh, well, just cancel it, get rid of it, cancel it, get it out. Okay. And that's what's exactly happening in the culture nowadays, right? Anything that's like now this guy, remember the previous dude, he was saying like, well, you know, there's stuff that's slightly offensive and slightly racist and slightly sexist. Guys, we all know, okay, we're all men here. Sexist and racist jokes can be fucking hilarious. If you don't believe me, go watch fucking Dave Chappelle. Okay. I don't have to sit here and fucking pander to a group of morons just to be like, oh yeah, racist jokes. There's no place for racist jokes in society. Okay, there's racist jokes built into society. Like Asian people are good at math, white people suck at dancing, white people are evil, black people fucking have big dicks, right? Whatever. There's all types of fucking stereotypes and jokes like that. And the same thing with sexist jokes, you know, and they're jokes. They're fucking jokes. That's all they are. The reason why they're funny is because we inherently know, wow, that's bad. You shouldn't do that. But it's so funny because you're making an example saying you should do something that we all really know we shouldn't do. And that's why it's so funny, because if we were to play out, it would kind of be funny, right? And so that's exactly what's happening right now. And these people, these cultures and everything who latch onto this cancel culture, all you're doing is you're just hurting your own economy and you're hurting your own people. Okay. And the people who are fucking complaining are literally the bottom feeders of society. The only reason she is doing this shit, this Sonia Osorio bitch, the only reason she's doing this, the real reason is she was probably traumatized big time by some kind of man when she was a child. You know, this is like how fucking Hitler was made. Right? Like some Jews bullied him or fucking messed with him when he was little, and he's like, fuck that. So I'm like, fucking kill all the Jews, right? Same thing with this. And if you do a little digging, every time you find a girl that's feminist or like hates men or has a bad relationship, like she's a hoe or anything like that, do a little digging and you'll always find out something happened to her. And I'm not saying sexually, okay? But like something happened to her. And sometimes it is sexually, okay? She was traumatized. She was molested. She was raped. There's something along those lines that's happened. And then they internalize this trauma. And then what they end up doing is taking this and fucking taking it out into the world. And that's exactly what happened with this fucking Sonia bitch. Let's go back to the clip though here.
They can go out and try to be as funny as they want, make as much money being as funny as they want. This is what's happening. There is a change in this country. People are realizing they have an opportunity to speak out, and advertisers are listening. Radio stations are listening.
You're not talking to who I talk to.
And you're not going to get paid as much money anymore.
Sonia and Patrice,
That's
look
what
at
it
this.
is. The marketplace.
More
is
CBS
speaking.
radio firings. They've been on a tear lately.
All right.
Are they cleaning house, or is this the PC cops run amok?
You know what it is, John. You know what it is while you're reading that paper. It's the PC cops run amok.
Do you think
Who's
she's a
the PC
PC
cop?
cop?
Of course she is. She has an entire encyclopedia of her stance on it, but it's no passion involved. It's not a real, this is just what she has to say. We are outraged and fired and
He's a
fired
fool. He's an
and
absolute
fired.
fool.
Name calling. I'm
A
outraged.
fool.
I am outraged.
You should be.
I am.
And that's just the pompousness of a white bitch, right? I mean, not really. She's trying to make herself look white, but you know, she's like, and he's a fool. He's a fool. But if you were to call a woman a fool, what happens? Oh, they lose their mind, right? Everybody lost their fucking mind when I called Bangs a bitch. And let me just make the record very fucking clear. I do not give a shit what the entire fucking world thinks. Like, oh, well, he immediately lost the debate when he called her a bitch. Fuck that bitch. And fuck you too if you don't fucking agree with me. A bitch is a fucking bitch. And I'm not going to change for any of you fucking bitch asses. Because you know why? The majority of people criticizing people like Patrice and myself and saying that, you know what? The majority of these fucking people, they also fucking eat at McDonald's. They're also fucking overweight and or obese. They're also fucking crippled in financial debt. They're also crippled in financial debt as well. They're also fucking retarded, IQ-wise speaking as well. So I'm not going to sit here and change my perspective to appease a bunch of fucking morons. Okay? I have no regret calling that girl a bitch because a fucking bitch is a bitch. And guess what? That bitch is on the fucking straight and narrow right now. King, the whole world is unified in their laughter against that bitch. And guess what? I changed her life. You're welcome, Banks. You're welcome. Okay? A bitch is a bitch, whether she poor or rich. Ice Cube, exactly. Okay? And she's calling him a fool, right? Oh my God. No outrage. But the moment you call something like that, the woman, the people freak out. Because remember, majority of people are idiots. Let's go back to this.
I'm a fool. Now, if I called you a fool,
You know what? People are feeling a new sense of entitlement.
Who are these
to
people?
decency in this country?
who are the
A
people?
new
How can
sense
you,
of
Patrice? So
entitlement to
here's my
decency.
question.
See, he's saying, who are these people? Who are these experts? See, she's an expert liar and manipulator. She's creating this phantom argument, this phantom support base behind her that's not real.
How can you justify a bad joke, a joke that isn't funny? Oh, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
An attempt that isn't funny, doesn't get any laughs, and is about raping the first black woman to ever become the Secretary of State of the United
Don't
States.
throw that at me.
Well, why not?
The attempt is what I'm trying to fight for. The joke funny jokes and unfunny jokes are come out of the same birth. That you don't know if anything is going to be funny. You should attempt to be able to make anything funny.
Don't you think a joke about rape is doomed to be not funny?
It's possible, but I've heard them.
You've heard a funny rape joke?
I say a couple. Watch my HBO special. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, Patrice says that if you're having sex with a woman, doggy style, and if you
Wrong.
hit her in the head just the right
No,
time.
it's ejaculate in her eye and kick her in the shin, and she walks around like, arg! It's the angry pirate. That's what she was trying to say.
A violent act of hitting her in the back of her head, her body.
It's called the donkey punch.
Which will then.
Why are you laughing? She's outraged. It's called the donkey punch. It's whole humor that she has no clue what it is.
She's laughing too. She's full of shit. Look at her. She's laughing during this interview. You can't see it's a little grainy, but
why are you laughing? She's outraged. It's called the donkey punch. It's whole humor that she has no clue what it is.
She's trying to collect herself to keep her lie and her propaganda going.
Problem that Opie and Anthony does. You can't say just anything on the air.
You can say anything you want. It might not be funny. You might get in trouble for it, but you should be able to be attempting. And plus, When is a crazy bum going to get an opportunity to rape the president? If the president's wife, John,
Why
it was trying to be funny.
All right, Patrice, why aren't I hearing Al Sharpton complain about this thing involving Congress?
Because it wasn't involving young black women.
Well, it's involving a very prominent black woman.
Well, where was she during young black? Everybody has their agenda.
I was there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, excuse me.
But why am I not hearing from Sharpton?
Because it doesn't concern him. It's not concerning him. It's black. Come on now. Al Sharpton has his agenda, and it was perfect for Al. Young black women. And now she's representing just women in general. She's not representing the nappy hoe part. She's representing just the hoe. The nappy headed part, she has nothing to do with. Just the hoe.
Sonia?
You know what? Women have been abused publicly in the media for too long, and people are tired of it. This has been a beautiful response of just the general public saying to advertisers, we're your consumer.
No, this is a response of fucking miserable housewives who are at home listening to this shit. Because you know what? When you're a fucking guy out here working and busting your ass, you don't have time to go fucking protest. You don't have time to be outraged. You're too busy fucking working your ass off to keep the roof over the fucking family's house. Okay? You're trying your hardest to provide. And that's the thing, and again, this just goes back to, like, this was a canary in the coal mine. This is 2007. This was letting you know, like, American women are just, like I said, bro, it's the fucking worst women on the planet. They are the most broken women on the planet. They are the most mentally fucked up women on the planet. And nobody says anything because dudes in America are just too thirsty and all they want to do is fuck. I can save her. I can save her. Good. Go ahead. Let her drag you down into hell with her, and then she'll cheat on you and leave you. Then you'll learn.
We don't want to have to avoid everything in the street. We don't want to have to worry about what radio station we turn on. And there is some really derogatory, violent thing to deal with.
Information, ma'am, is secondhand from someone making you aware that someone may have said something that you should be upset about. It's a shame.
Exactly. He called her out right there.
Your constituency, the people you represent aren't all victims in this matter.
Patrice O'Neill, thank you very much. Sonia Osorio, thanks to both of you. Appreciate it. Time for big politics.
It's much bigger than that, Patrice. You just don't get it. You just don't understand, black man. Fucking pompous bitch. Emilio Fenicio, $5 super chat. It's wholeflation. Guys have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers to get girls 20 times worse than their grandmothers. Bro, I'm tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Okay. Let's see. Cancel culture is based on language of emotionalism. Absolutely is. Absolutely is. It's funny too, right? Because like my mom's been staying with me now. And I recently broke up with this chick I was dating. And when my mom came here, she's like, this girl, she lets your house stay like this dirty? It's not like I live in filth, but my mom is on a mission while she's here, bro. I wake up, she's just cooking, she's cleaning, she is just showing me what a decent woman is like. And I really don't give a fuck what anybody says, bro. Like, oh, modern women have to work and blah, blah. Well, guess what, bitch? If you want to be a woman, you want to be a wife, you want to be somebody, in my life, if I'm going to be making the majority of the fucking money, then you got to be doing the majority something else. My truth, $2 super chat. They aren't just thirsty, but super henpecked too. Very, very, very true. Very true. Okay. So I said all that to say this. I want to show you one more thing. You can see the soy on this guy. Okay. You can see the fucking soy here. And man, oh man, oh man. It's funny because the thing is this too, right? Shout out to $1 Million Madness, $2 super chat. MLD versus Bang Part 2. Can't wait. I don't think she's coming back, bro. Kidding me? What is she gonna come back for? What the fuck is she gonna come back for?
Take my money.
To get humiliated by me again?
Shut up and take my money.
The whole world is laughing at that chick, bro. The whole world, bro, is making fun of that girl and laughing at her. Okay. And again, I'll pull up the again here, Michelle. I'll just pull up the infamous clip. The infamous clip. Okay. With a man. Okay. Here we go. I love Christmas. Where is this fucking dirtbag? Shout out to Bangs, making me so much money. Here. This is see, because another thing is this too, right? So when we talk about Bangs, you know, she's just like that bitch we just saw on the TV. That's Sonia Ocasio girl, or whatever the fuck her name is. She's never been challenged in her entire life. And she lives in California where everybody just sucks that big fucking woke transgender Black Lives Matter dick. And you know, everybody just goes along with her and, you know, says this shit all the fucking time and just, oh yeah. She's never been challenged. So again, this is rock solid frame. And then as soon as I knew she was a fucking clown, I just said, okay, I'm not gonna take this idiot seriously anymore. Take a look here.
Have been oppressed since the beginning of time.
How?
And it's natural.
Oh gosh.
How?
Are you really? How?
Yeah, go ahead.
How? You're
the one
asking
saying
me
this is
how?
true. Yeah,
How?
No, because I'm not going. If
Okay,
you don't know how,
because you don't know.
no, if I'm not going to explain to myself.
Normal, listen, in normal conversation where people aren't sitting around and patronizing you because you're loud and obnoxious, and a lot of people don't want to confront you and tell you that. But I'll tell you that right now, young lady. You're very loud and obnoxious and you're rude. In conversation, when you bring something up, you can't just state something as fact and then not defend it. And then say, oh, well, if you don't know, it's just because you're XYZ, because that's what you're doing right now. So you said women have been oppressed by man since the dawn of civilization.
Yes.
How?
If you don't know that, I'm not going to explain to you.
Bro,
Because
just put a big
knowledge.
L in the chat for her, guys.
That
Just
is
put a
basic
big L for this
knowledge.
girl, bro.
Women have.
It's too easy. Too easy. All talk, no walk. All bark, no bite. Okay. I should pull up the fucking text messages that she sent me after when she claimed like all women are beautiful and all women are this and all women are that. And I have just fucking messages from her just bashing, saying like the only woman who would be with you is a pig and blah, blah, blah. I was like, bitch, you lonely fucking cunt. You are fucking trying to hit me up at the middle of the fucking night in California. You thinking about me late at night in your bed. You sad fucking pathetic existence of a human, bro. Okay, guys, can we just dunk on this fucking hoe and put a L in the chat? I'll fucking put an L right there for you guys. Just go ahead and throw the L's. Put them L's in the fucking chat. This fucking retard, bro. And that's the thing. We're getting to that point now in society where we're making a cultural turn. We are making cultural change. Okay. There is no doubt about that. Okay. Yeah. Tom Jones says she sees all the clips. She was leaving comments on my fucking YouTube channel, bro. This bitch is insane. Fucking sane, bro. Robert says L to the power of 10, bro. L to the power of 99. Hilarious, bro. Just hilarious. Fucking L. Yeah. Justin's life says she's a clown for life. Okay. Clown. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, bro. Yeah, she does. She puts her fucking she advertises her BPD medication on her TikTok. Bro, this chick is disgusting too behind the scenes. No wonder she's just running her fucking mouth. Somebody sent me some pictures of her, bro. One of her pictures on her TikTok is literally like, bro, is like, you look like a fucking Lord of the Rings character. Just like a terrible freak of a monster. And just like super fucking yikes, man. Super. No, I want to pull it up. She is definitely super fucking yikes. Because I wanted to show you this chick. Just running her mouth, blah, 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 blah. No substance, nothing along those lines whatsoever. Just blah, blah, blah. Vomit. Trash. Okay. And, it's just hilarious. Truly comedy. But again, and that's why I'm trying to tell you guys too, the importance of having rock solid frame, because it was me versus that entire table. Brian wasn't on my side. And, he's probably going to be on my side now that I go back. That the entire world has came back. Look at this, bro. Look at this. This chick thought this was okay to post on fucking her TikTok. That's her. This is the bangs. That's on her fucking TikTok. Surfer piercings.
Shut up and take my money.
Okay. She's 21 years old, bro. No thanks. No thanks. Melee says you alpha widowed her. God. So, yeah, looks like a heroin addict, says. Yikes. Yeah, bro. And that's public. She posted that on her fucking TikTok. Gross. Good for my diet control, though. It's a real good thing. I'm going to show you one more thing here. Hilarious, bro. This is what happens when you're a weak man in this life, okay? If you're a weak man, oh my God, Lucifer says Attack on Titan build, bro. That's funny. She's built like a fucking Kyojin. Shingeki no Kyojin. Kimuchore. So anyways, we're going to talk here about this last segment. So here's the deal, guys. If you're a weak man, all right, bro, it's only a matter of time before you're taking advantage of. For real. If you are a weak man, it is only a matter of time before you're taken advantage of. I'm going to show you a weak guy right now. And I just want you to watch how he is just like a woman, absolving himself of responsibility, blaming everybody but himself. Take a look here.
Guess who's been paying off a car for 18 months of a 36-month lease and just found out what a car lease is? That is so much money to pay to rent a car for 36 months. Are you kidding me? Oh, how didn't you know? Didn't you read the contract? I did, and I didn't understand the contract. No, it's checking what I signed. They were like, here's your car. And I was like, yippee! The only thing getting me through those payments was the idea that I was going to own it at the end. Guess who's been paying off a car for 18 months of a 36-month?
So, yeah, that's a guy who was fucking, he was, it's hilarious, dude. This guy had no fucking idea. No idea what a car lease was as a grown man. Okay. So here's the thing. All right. If you guys don't know this by now, right? I'll give you some life experience. Okay. When a guy is working at a car dealership, 9 times out of 10, that guy's either a criminal and or a fucking shark of a scumbag salesman. These guys at these car dealerships care about one thing and one thing only: getting commission. And they don't give a fuck if it's you, grandma. There's 2 parts of a car dealership, right? It's 2 parts. Part 1 is the people who you fucking go to and they're the salesman and they like, yeah, drive the car, take it around, whatever, right? And then the second part of the deal is the finance department. They have all the money and they try to like figure out a deal, like 1, how to fuck you for the most amount of money, and 2, if your credit is shit or something along those lines, they try to like pull some strings, raise a payment, give you a really fucking high interest rate, and then fuck you on the deal as well. Okay. These car dealership people are sharks. If you ever worked at a car dealership, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a eat or be eaten culture. And then, yeah, and cocaine. Exactly. And they're all fucking cokeheads. Right. Jay Manuel says, I make 6 figures in the auto biz. Then you know what's good. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Guilty. I made 20 G's on a deal once. Yeah, there you go, motherfucker. And shit, I know you people. I know you motherfuckers well. Right. So when you see some fucking clown like that, all hyped up on emotion, like, I'm here to get a car. Ah. You need to go in there like a stone-faced killer, like, yeah, I'm here to deal with. You got to come in there like, you're making a deal with the devil. Like, yeah, I want to get a fucking car, but I know you guys are going to try to fuck me in every which way. So let's get this over with. Right. And, yeah, exactly. See, Jordan Griffith says, I used to work at a car dealership. They're sleazy, but you need to do your own due diligence when making a major life decision. And the majority of people don't. Again. So what's he doing? He's blaming society. He's blaming everybody. He's like, I signed the contract, but I didn't get it. If you don't understand a fucking contract, don't sign it. Okay? Don't do it. Yeah, exactly. Sign right here. Congratulations, you got a car. Hey, congratulations. Aren't you happy? So it's just hilarious. There's just so much. There's so many weak men here in this world. Just tons and tons of weak people. And these beta males, they don't change, guys. There's no changing them. There's no saving them. You just got to really protect yourself from these people. So you got to identify them and understand it. They'll be wrong. They'll lie. They'll manipulate. They'll do whatever they can do to absolve themselves of responsibility and accountability. They'll do whatever it fucking takes. So that's what I wanted to teach you guys today. Be on the lookout. And if you're one of those beta males, start changing, because it's only a matter of time before life fucks you. And don't forget, May 8th, we're going live for the Masculine Empowerment Network. My mods are going to put the links in the chat right now. You can click in the description box below to sign up for the Masculine Empowerment Network. May 8th, we're going live. Go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com. Sign up. And again, don't forget, what do you get when you sign up for the Masculine Empowerment Network? You get tons of value. First of all, you get annual membership to me and my team of leaders. But again, you get the course of body language mastery. There's a course on how to read a women's body language. You get 60 webinars with experts in money, muscles, game, and frame. 200 hours of past recorded webinars as well. A secured Telegram chat. Direct access to me, MLD, via the group chats. And then open course access sales. You'll be able to have the ability to buy all my courses previously listed on this channel once you sign up for the Masculine Empowerment Network. And here's the schedule so far. We're going to be filling this out. Inner Masculine, Wraith, and they're going to be talking about frame, which is tied to today's episode. And in addition to that, tomorrow, this is important, pay attention. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? I'm back here with Paul from Apex Mindset. And you know what we're going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about why you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife. Okay, why you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife. We're going to talk about the science of this as well. We're going to be backed up with studies and so much more. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.